everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Transformers Combiner Wars review for you today. This is Protected by Blades, and if you're familiar with the Combiner Wars line, so far you can see that this guy is a retool slash repaint of Alpha Bravo in a primarily red and white color scheme. Here's a picture of the alt mode. Picture of Defensor on the side here. Very nice. Like the art here on the back on the IDW comic book. Think that looks pretty good. Nice pics here on the back. If you would like to read his bio, I will try to zoom in here for you to read that. So there you go. Copter Kung Fu. That's a new one. Never heard of that before. Interesting, interesting. But we'll go ahead, we'll get this guy out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here's Blades out of the packaging. I think he looks pretty good. I mean, he definitely is mostly red, but I do like the gray and the white and the silver. Kind of breaks it up, and the blue on the face is nice. I'm going to try to zoom in here and get a better look at the face. And I'll try to bring him a little forward. I think that looks pretty good. It's definitely like a little bit kind of wider and more of a grimace than I remember Blades. But I'm not caught up to the IDW iteration of Transformers right now. So if this design is based more off of that, then I'm not 100% sure about that. I kind of think it must be, just because the G1 Blades that I remember, you know, wasn't this angry or kind of gruff. So I'm wondering if that's something from the comics. Also, I know this is a redo of Alpha Bravo, but from what I remember of Blades from G1, he had 4 blades, and then it kind of made an X on his back. I always liked that look. I thought it gave him some character. So I'm a little bummed that that's not included here. But if he is based off the IDW design, then maybe he matches that more closely. I haven't gotten to that point, and I'm very, very behind on IDW. I'm trying to get caught up. But otherwise, it's a nice, repaint. They definitely put some love into the, there's some text here and the accents and everything. Really like the Autobot symbol here. And the head sculpt is nice. It definitely looks very good. Articulation is exactly the same as Alpha Bravo. You have the 90 degrees in the knee, thigh joint, or I should say thigh swivel. Hip joint is, out to the side and front to back. Kind of on a ball joint there. Waist can go around 360. You have 90 degrees in the elbow. Ball joint for the shoulder here. Head's on a ball joint. So you can move that all around. This piece on the back, you can keep it like that, or if you like, you can leave it swiveled like that, like it is in the transformation. That's purely a preference thing. Whatever you prefer, one or the other. But yeah, the silver paint on the hands looks good, and there's some in the crotch here. Otherwise, you're looking at mostly kind of a gray, dull gray plastic. But yeah, not bad. I think he looks pretty good. I wasn't a huge fan of Alpha Bravo, and it wasn't so much because of the mold or because of the color scheme or anything. I wanted Slug Slinger or Quick Slinger or whatever they called Slingshot. I think it was Quick Slinger. I wanted him. So if this was the first time I was getting this mold, I'd be happy, because I know now we're going to get it a third time as Vortex for the Combaticons. But at least they did do, in my opinion, a nice job with the color scheme and the paint and everything. So we'll go ahead and get into the transformation real quick. Alright, so I'm going to move through the transformation fairly quickly, just because we have seen it before. I think you start by pushing these legs together, and then you can kind of open this up. Now you're going to have to make sure you get this completely out of the way so that you can bend this part. Actually, I'm sorry, you have to turn this 180 degrees first. Then you can bend these down. Come on, you. The joints are a little stiff. There we go. And these are going to tab in up here. And then these will close. And then you can bring these around. Fold that in. Peg that together. Then fold these down. Make sure everything's lined up. There we go. Push this piece down. That's going to snap in place, and then you can extend the blades. Then you just straighten out the arms and they just peg right into the side. Nothing new there. And then this lifts up and extends down. Now it's up to you. If you want to leave the head like that, you can. If you want to, let me lift this back up. Mine's really tight. You can turn the face around if you want to hide the face. That's completely up to you. It doesn't really matter. It can transform either way. Obviously just to hide the robot head. But the same problem I have with Alpha Bravo. This is very clearly the robot chest and arms, and the legs just kind of compacted up a little bit. The other thing I think is weird is I feel like it's just kind of too long. I mean, I understand it has to be because these blades are so long and they have to clear. But it just, I don't know, it always seemed a little off to me. It's not terrible, don't get me wrong. And I think I like this guy's color scheme more than I like Alpha Bravo. I just would have rather had kind of a more compact, you know, I guess the 80s version of blades, because that's what I'm used to, but that kind of helicopter isn't really relevant anymore. This is probably a more modern design helicopter, so it's probably why they went with this. But either way, I think it looks good. The red's sharp, the paint's nice, got some nice text and symbols here. Silver on here looks good. He does come with 2 accessories. This gun, which we've seen before, I can't remember exactly which of the aerial bots it came with. It might have come with Alpha Bravo. I just went and checked in my display. I have Fireflight holding it, and I don't remember if it came with him or the pieces got jumbled around and I just mixed it up. But if you would like, you can peg that in here to the side. Works pretty well. Then you have the standard hand-foot connector piece with some Gatling guns down here. You can peg that into the bottom. So he's flying around with some Gatling guns, and then he can just land real nice. So he does look good with the accessories decked out. I think that looks pretty cool. Just wanted to get a little closer real quick just so you can see some of these. I mean, it's not a whole lot of design, but you can see Rescue there on the side, the white stripes, nice. And then I'll take a close look at the Rescue Autobot symbol, and I'll see if I can... It says Autobot Coastal Rescue, and it's got 2 anchors. So that's a pretty cool little logo that is on both sides, as you can see here. And it says Rescue twice on both sides. So I just want to get up a little close and personal with that. Like I said, the attention to detail is nice. I just wish you didn't see the whole robot mode on the bottom there. So overall, I think Blades looks great. The only problems I have with the mold are the same problems I have with Alpha Bravo. I hate this. The way the rotors just hang here. I would have loved if they would have just put some kind of little tab or something that you could just like push these into so they just stayed. All they would have had to do is maybe just 2 little tabs. You could have just sandwiched these in between. Otherwise, it just kind of hangs there. It's not terrible. It's just they could have done something. Otherwise, I think he looks good. Like the color scheme, it definitely is reminiscent of the original G1 character. You know, all the colors and the paint definitely look great. The head sculpt is good. Not exactly what I remember, but it's definitely very nicely painted, and I like the look of it. Obviously, it's Alpha Bravo, but it's done better. If I knew this guy was coming, I would have passed on Alpha Bravo initially, but what can you do? If you have not picked up either, I would definitely say this guy over Alpha Bravo. If you're a completist, go for both. If you love Alpha Bravo, have at him. There's nothing wrong with him. To me, he's a trick that Hasbro pulled to get us to buy an extra figure we didn't need. So that's my problem with that. But anyway, this guy is great. Go ahead and pick him up. Complete your Protectobots. And yeah, I just think he's fantastic. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Protectobot Blades from Transformers Generations Combiner Wars, and thanks for watching.